Puma has it and clears the zone. Bob J leaping for that one, but he's only 5'11". If he were a little taller, if he were Corey Cross, he might have been able to catch that one.
Wouldn't have had to jump.
Now the puck played by Gruhl. He almost gave it up for Miller, who pushes it behind the net. Now Pokey Reddick steers it here to the near corner. Colin Chin flips it behind the net, and the Komets regroup. A minute and a half left on the power play. Richardson out of his zone to the red line, flips it in off the stick here to the near side, played by Savage. Oh, he took a pop in the corner. Good bump there from LaPuma, but Jay has the puck to the far point. Richardson, he fires a quick shot, save the rebound, smothered. Good play by the Atlanta Knights to cover up on that one, and it's still 1-0. We'll pause and complete the first period after this on the Atlanta Knights Network.
Look, isn't it ridiculous sweating out another summer because your cooling system isn't efficient? Call a good sense dealer for a high-efficiency heat pump or air conditioner. It's got to be a cooler idea than this.
Hey, Skip, there's a better way to sit out this summer. Relax in real comfort with Amana high-efficiency central air conditioning. For a free estimate, call the man for all seasons at Estes. Hey, Skip, how about a cold glass of lemonade?
Back at Fort Wayne, 1-0 Atlanta, but the Knights penalty killing for another minute 10. The puck off the draw, played by Hurd. He hit the linesman with his clearing attempt right in front for Savage. A shot knocked wide by a sliding defender. That was LaPuma, who made a terrific play to stop that shot, and then the Knights clear the zone. Now the Komets coming out of there. Here's Colin Chin with a little room to the blue line. He throws it behind the net, knocked down by Bergeron. Now he flips it over to the far side, off the glass and along the dasher, played by Wilkie. He gets knocked down, and then the Knights clear the zone. 30 seconds left on the power play, a minute and a half left in the period. Now Jean-Marc Richard, knocked free by Callender. Callender's got a trailer. Callender on a backhand, waits, pushed off the puck, knocked down. It's loose here in the corner. Played by the Komets. Lucyk flips it to center. Now Chibriev leaves it at the blue line, knocked wide but not out. Chibriev off the side of the cage, right in front. Pushed over to the far corner. Now to the far point, Richard. Near side, Wilkie. He flips a shot, gloved by Bergeron, and he hangs on as Willett and LaPuma collide in front. 1 second left on the power play. It appears cooler heads will prevail here. 59 seconds left in the period. It got very active in front of the net. Good shot by Willett, a low shot smothered, and right there LaPuma all over Willett. That could have been a roughing call, especially with Zelkin whistling quite a few penalties here in the first period. But none called, and Fort Wayne has 1 second left on the manpower advantage here. .59 seconds left in the period, and an important face-off here for Atlanta to control the puck and clear the zone. Fort Wayne with just enough time to set up shop here for a quick shot if they win the draw. Davidson with Miller. Colin Miller wins the face-off. The Knights steer it out of the zone. Out of the box, Buchanan plays it ahead to Miller across the line. He snaps a shot, knocked down by Reddick, and he smothers the puck. And it's going to be now a face-off for the Atlanta Knights in the Fort Wayne zone, as the Knights penalty killing unit continues to be sharp. Penalty killing, Atlanta 86% coming into this one. That's outstanding. And they are now 1 out of 15. That's all Fort Wayne has been able to muster on the power play. And the other playoff matchup, Kansas City leading San Diego in Kansas City 1-0. That's the score of that one. As Fort Wayne clears it all the way down, that's another icing call. And once again, we'll have a face-off in the Fort Wayne zone. We hope to chat with Herb Ragland, the Atlanta goal scorer, during the intermission. .41 seconds left on the first period clock. The Knights leading 1-0. Lafreniere between Berglund and Ruff to take the draw. Lafreniere puts the stick down, waiting for Mallon to drop the puck. He sends Davidson out of the circle. Hankinson comes in. And now he sends Lafreniere out of the circle, and Berglund will come in to take the draw. The visiting player has to put the stick down first. Now the puck played by Fort Wayne and Boyce. Ahead now for Hankinson across the line as he played it. Lost it in his skates, and as he came across the line, he was offside. Perfect example of what offside is all about. That is, the puck has to go over the line first. Now watch as Hankinson plays it off his skates and then got it right off. See, and there, the skates over the line before the puck. That's offside. Now it's played by the Komets off the faceoff, and Jay fires it in, gloved by Bergeron. Played by Dubois with 25 seconds left in the period. Dubois ahead to Lafreniere. He rolls it to the far corner. Now trying to play it. Berglund does a good job battling two Komets. The puck free to the point. Dubois fires. Stick save by Reddick. Now play to the neutral zone with 8 seconds left. Davidson with Dubois around Dubois. Davidson moving in. A weak shot. Knocked wide. The puck played behind the net as the horn sounds. That's the end of the first period. Dubois and Davidson going at it in the corner. Pushing and shoving. Dubois landed a couple of pops. We'll have a couple of players with penalties called at the 20-minute mark of the first period here. The referees, Elkin, signaling everybody else steer clear of this one as we have fisticuffs here. Now cooler heads prevail and will pause. The Atlanta Knights lead it after 1. The score in the hockey game 1-0. We'll have our first intermission after this on the Atlanta Knights Network.
It was huge, and it had bats in it. Hundreds of them hanging from the walls. Oh.
You won't believe your eyes.
And they had people in cages with clubs.
Whoa! Not just a sporting goods store, but a mega store.
It was incredible. A veritable cornucopia of color.
100,000 name brand items, guaranteed low prices. Sportstown, America's sports headquarters.
You'll be amazed.
A simple change to fill up state-of-the-art light bulbs and redo your living room.
If I didn't care more than words can say, if I didn't care.
Redo your living room for about $76. Phillips Lighting, opening the world's eyes to light.
Take me out to Wolf Camera, the photo experts in town. I need some film and some batteries, cameras and lots of accessories. Also known for service and value, low prices, selection, and more. So get to Wolf Camera right now. It's my favorite photography store.
The sounds, the sights of the music industry. You can be part of it in management, marketing, audio engineering, and video production. When you bring the Art Institute your enthusiasm, we match it with the skills the industry is looking for. You'll learn about the record business, producing and directing videos, promoting concerts, managing performers. Train at the Art Institute and be on your way in the music and video business. Call for our free booklet that shows you how. 1-800-647-3900. Call right now. 1-800-647-3900.
Back in Fort Wayne at the Allen County Memorial Coliseum, our first intermission, the Atlanta Knights leading the Fort Wayne Komets 1-0 after the first 20 minutes. And we'll go right to the goal scorer, Herb Ragland. And Herb, congratulations on getting the Knights on the board in the first period. I think a key to the hockey game, get something early against Pokey.
Well, we're definitely having our problems with Pokey Reddick right now, and we were talking before the game that on the ice is the place to beat them, and you know, the goal that I scored was just a shot at the net, and it was on the ice and went in, and we definitely, you know, got to go into the second period like it's 0-0 and come out flying again, or else we're going to be back even and right where we started from.
Going back to the goal, your line mates did a good job to push the puck in front. Gretzky fanned on it but kept it alive.
Yeah, Millsy made a great pass to Gretz there, and it was just unfortunate that he didn't get the shot away. Fortunate for me, I guess. I just happened to be in the right spot at the right time. But,
and it appears you got it under his glove and off the post and in, huh?
I'm not sure. I think it just went under. I know it went on the glove side along the ice, and you know, it was just a kind of a one-time turnaround and shoot it at the net kind of thing.
Herb, the pace of the game started out gangbusters, slowed down with a lot of whistles. Tell me about just the nature of that first period from your standpoint.
Well, I think that's pretty much sums it up. It started off a pretty good pace, and I think the key for us here is they're definitely trying to slow it down. I don't think they can skate with us when we're going. And for us, we got to come back out in the second period, stay away from the scrums at the whistles, get the game going, get the flow going back in our favor again. I don't think they can skate with us. They're definitely wanting to slow the game down. As soon as we got the goal and we got ahead, you could see every whistle they were trying to start a little scrum and get, you know, slow the pace back down.
All right, Herb Ragland, congratulations. Good first period. Get to the locker room, relax, and keep it going.
Thanks very much, Ken.
Herb Ragland visiting with us during the first intermission. And when we come back, we'll dissect this first period a little more with Mike Greenlay and have more from Fort Wayne after this on the Atlanta Knights Network.
We've had Old Blaze for 16 years. I mean, this Old Blaze. My husband uses it for all of his hunting and fishing trips. He and the dog absolutely love that car. Someday, when even AC Delco Parts can't keep it going, we'll just park it out back so he and the dog can sit in it and reminisce.
AC Delco Parts. It's like buying time.
Quality AC Delco parts are available at Sosby Auto Supply in Lawrenceville.
Hot off the press, Maino Rayon started at goal in Atlanta on April 10th, 1993. History is being made and Frameland is a part of it. At any Frameland store, you can pick up your official limited edition poster of Maino Rayon for only $15 while supplies last. Frameland is also offering holders of Atlanta Knights ticket stubs a credit of $10 for any purchase of posters, prints, or framing for the next 30 days. Frameland is the sponsor of the Atlanta Knights. Check your white pages under Frameland for the location closest to you or call 518-0600. That's 518-0600 Frameland.
For the best values on Western wear, shop Boot Village, Atlanta's complete Western outfitters. Boot Village has a huge selection of hats, shirts, jeans, boots, and Western accessories at the lowest prices in Atlanta. Acme Ropers are sale price this week from $49.95. Save up to $80 on Acme snakeskin boots or Dan Post all-leather handcrafted Westerns, just $139.95 each. For the best prices on today's Western fashions, shop Boot Village, located near Gwinnett Place, South Lake, and Cumberland Malls.
You're hung up, doing the same old thing every weekend. Break the chains of monotony with a trip to the Georgia Renaissance Festival. Discover our cast of thousands with jousters and jugglers. Excitement for the whole family. Shop for unique items in hundreds of craft shops. Feast on tasty treats from the largest menu in Georgia. The Georgia Renaissance Festival. Fun, food, and crafts. Open weekend starting April 24th. Just minutes south of the airport, I-85 to exit 12.
Mr. Zamboni's finest is putting a new surface on the rink here at the Coliseum in Fort Wayne as we're just about midway through this intermission. 1-0 Atlanta in the first period, and I think the Knights again have come into enemy territory and have played some pretty strong hockey.
Well, like we said, the Knights are playing strong hockey anyways. They just need to get on the board as far as scoring is concerned, and I think they did that, and they almost got a couple more. So it looks like they're doing pretty good right now. They just got to keep driving towards the net and maybe cause some traffic in front of Pokey Reddick, so we might not be able to see the puck, because once they're in front of the net, Matt Hervey took a shot. Pokey didn't see it. It hit him and hit the post. So
Gene Ubriaco talked about a different attack on the power play, and certainly the Knights did that, setting up 3 deep between the points and the slot, and then 2 attacking toward the net.
And they used the point a lot more, and they took a lot more shots. I think the problem before is they were just trying to make too perfect of a play, whereas now they're just directing it at the net and driving guys in there. And that's a nightmare for a goaltender, to have pucks coming at you and the players looking for the rebound.
And it was typical physical playoff hockey, as the Fort Wayne Komets don't mind getting a little chippy. They will try and goad the opposition into penalties with some pushing and shoving, and we had a fight right at the end of the first period that will result in penalties for Lee Davidson, 21 for Fort Wayne, and Eric Dubois for the Atlanta Knights as they go at it before they ever took the sticks and the gloves down. And the roughing penalties were called, and so the second period will begin 4-on-4 in front of the goaltenders and a lot of room on the rink. And at this point, although shots favor Fort Wayne, they certainly had a lot more power play opportunities, 4-1 in that first period.
Well, the Knights just have to keep their discipline, and they're going to get their chances. I mean, like Hurd Ragland said, they're just trying to slow the game down. The Knights are a fast team, and this 4-on-4 will definitely be in their favor. So hopefully they can get some speed going and generate some offense.
We're going to pause here, and we'll bring you the statistical picture, more highlights, and more from the Allen County Memorial Coliseum in Game 3 of the IHL Eastern Conference Finals in Turner Cup action, all coming up in 2 minutes on the Atlanta Knights Network.
Is your family's security while traveling worth $1 a day? Constant Communications will provide your family a cellular telephone, including the equipment and airtime, for just $1 a day. As an authorized agent, we provide the highest quality service and products available in Atlanta. Give us a call at 642-4000, and remember, $1 a day for the security of your family. Call us, it makes good sense. Constant Communications, give us a call at 642-4000.
Now, all over the world, the sisters and mothers and best friends waiting to hear from you can hear from you for a lot less. Introducing the AT&T Special Country Plan. Save 15%. It's easy. There's no monthly fee. Just call right now and tell us your one special international country and start saving to everyone in it every hour of every day. We'll always be there to make calling more affordable.
Say, boys, want to be basketball stars when you grow up?
Check it out. Someday I'll fly higher than Jordan. When I grow up, I'm gonna run McFrugal Auto Rental.
Because McFrugal rents new cars at the best rates around?
Yep, and?
Because McFrugal accepts credit cards or cash.
Yeah, but mainly because my grandfather said I could be whatever I want.
McFrugal Auto Rental, America's best neighborhood car rental company.
Besides, I already got this basketball thing down.
We're back in Fort Wayne, 1-0 the score on the goal by Hurd Ragland. We're in our first intermission, the second 20 minutes just right around the corner. And again, a good first period, both goaltenders having played very well. And I want to correct myself on 2 counts. One, Fort Wayne went 0 for 3 on the power play, not 0 for 4. And Atlanta's home record was 38-2. 30 wins, 8 losses, and 2. We had that wrong, and I fed you wrong information. It was my fault, not his, on that one as far as the home ice record. And that was what was so surprising about Fort Wayne having 1-2 at the Omni. Right now, let's take a look at the scoring summary, and it's really rather simple at this point in time. 1 goal was scored, and it was unassisted. Hurd Ragland is third of the playoffs at 10:29, and again, attacking the net. He was right on the doorstep when the puck was there.
Their whole line was attacking that net, and even though Gretzky missed a shot, the puck was still there, and Ragland was tenacious, and he just came after it. Here you see Colin Miller making a great pass. Unfortunately, Gretzky misses, but the puck somehow ends up on Ragland's stick, and he just shoots it, and it goes in the net.
So a break for the Knights on that one at a time when this is an offensive team overall, looking for breaks, looking for opportunities, and Gretzky will have nightmares, but there was Ragland right there to push that one into the net and give the Knights that 1-0 lead. And again, Atlanta went 0 for 1 on the power play. The Komets went 0 for 3 on the power play. Those are the correct numbers on the power plays. There you see the save numbers and the shots on goals. And there you have the statistical picture after 1 period of play. And if you were talking, or if you were eavesdropping with Gino Briaco in the locker room right now, what's he talking about in period number 2?
Well, I think he's telling him to continue to force the net, force a play, and continue to take shots. You can't score unless you shoot, so I think you're just going to have to keep directing the puck at the net and keep driving to the net. Because Pokey Red is going to make a mistake, and if you're there, you're going to put the puck in the net.
The other thing, too, I would imagine they're talking about is watch out for the chippy penalties. Don't put us shorthanded unnecessarily so.
Exactly. When you're down 2-0 in the series, it's not time for paybacks. You can't go out and take any bad penalties.
All right, we'll have second period action when we come back. It's 1-0 Atlanta. After one, this is Atlanta Knights hockey.
The Emory Clinic Sports Medicine Center is unique in its ability to train and treat competitive athletes and weekend warriors of all ages. Individualized programs are developed for all athletes, even swimmers, runners, and soccer players. The clinic has a radiologist on site and the only swim flumes in Georgia designed for training, enhancement, and treatment of injuries. The Emory Clinic Sports Medicine Center has a staff dedicated to sports training, injury prevention, and treatment, making it Georgia's total sports medicine facility. For an appointment or for more information, call the Emory Health Connection at 248-7744.
Anytime, any place. Go fish. Anyone, any taste. Go fish. Any day, any night, any size, appetite. One place does it right. Go fish.
At Long John's, get what you want any way you want it. From combo platters to baked meals, from value packs to $1.99 specials.
You can get your wish anytime. Go fish. Long John Silver's.
Go for one of our 3 great $1.99 specials. And don't forget to add a piece.
Hi, I'm Richard Dumas. At J&R Clothing, we'll save you at least 25 to 30% every day. Liz Claiborne and Leslie Fate, dresses and sportswear. Docker, slacks and shorts. Lee and Levi jeans, Sansabelt slacks. Weinberg, Dexter, Nike, and Allen Edmonds shoes. Men's suits by Hager, Sewell, Sansabelt, and Perry Ellis. All at savings of 25 to 30% every day. Alterations are always free. J&R Clothing, Georgia, Highway 85 in Riverdale and in North Fayette County.
Do you know how quick and easy it is to make a bubble?
Vittorio, tell them about the sauce.
My mother. And now it's easier than ever with new Bobbly pizza sauce.
Tell them it's as easy as making a sandwich.
Oh, Mama, who'd want a sandwich when they could have a Bobbly? Bobbly with cheese, Bobbly with chicken, Bobbly with spaghetti. They're all so easy to make with new Bobbly pizza sauce. Look for it on the Bobbly rack like this. And remember, it's more than a pizza. It's a Bobbly.
Atlanta Knights Hockey on WVEU 69 is brought to you in part by Sherwin-Williams. The pros know. Ask Sherwin-Williams. By the man for all seasons at Estes Heating and Air Conditioning. By NTW. You'll go a long way with NTW. By Wolf Camera. By Chris Volvo. And by Sportstown, America's sports headquarters.
Memorial Coliseum, back at the Allen County Memorial Coliseum. We're just about ready to start the second period. Putting on the headsets there is Bob Chase. Bob Chase has been the voice of Fort Wayne Komets hockey for years, and on WOWO radio, a powerhouse 50,000 watter that booms all over the eastern half of the country. And looks like maybe he had a rough first period, but let me tell you, Bob has been named the IHL Broadcaster of the Year in a first-year award in this league, and it's well-deserved for a bunch who have listened to this guy deliver Komets hockey and deliver IHL hockey all over the eastern half of the country. And the league, much to its credit, has named the award after Bob, and I think that's great. Well-deserved, a wonderful fella. A guy who really loves hockey, and boy, do they love him here in Fort Wayne. Well, we're underway, and the Atlanta Knights are now moving offensively to the right, as always, we flip-flop ends for the middle period. 4-on-4 in front of the goaltenders, with Dubois and Davidson serving their roughing penalties called at the 20-minute mark at the end of the first period. So the puck in the neutral zone now for the Komets, and Hankinson across the line to Boyce with Richardson cutting to the net. The pass intercepted by Berglund. Here he comes 2-on-1 with the Frenier. Berglund across the line. Berglund waits, shoots, fired it wide. It Karam's funny off the boards. Kept alive for Berglund in the corner. Tried to center it to Hervé cutting through. It's loose in front. Battle for. Clear to the corner on a good play by Boyce. He's got a little room as Fort Wayne comes ahead 2-on-2. Boyce across the line. Boyce sweeps it here in front and lost his skates, pushed it behind the net. Now the puck played in front by Bergeron. He leaves it for Hervé. Fans wanted a whistle, didn't get it, and the Knights play it to center. Osborne deflects it into the zone. Callender giving chase, Osborne giving chase. He and Jean-Marc Richard collide. The puck loose for Jock in the corner to Osborne, moving it in front, now behind the net. Osborne bumped off the play by Richard, keeps it alive in the corner. Ozzy lost his stick. Now it's tied up in the skates. We get a whistle. We'll have a face-off with a couple of opportunities both ends of the rink here, Mike.
Well, it's usually back and forth hockey to begin every period that we've seen so far. But once again, if you see anybody dominating, you'll see it slow down as one team will want to slow it down and get back to their own pace. There you just saw a shot of the wild fans they have here.
They've got almost 7,000, probably better than 7,000 here as the Knights came close.
Here Osborne trying to get out in front of the net, breaks his stick along the boards, and smartly freezes the puck.
Now the face-off won by the Knights. Pushed to the deep slot, and Rivers moves around Buchanan, fires a save, the rebound, and Pokey jumps on it and keeps Atlanta, and particularly Jock Callender, from getting a chance to push that thing between the pipes.
Never a bad play to direct the puck at the net as Rivers just finds an opening and dumps it at the net. Callender was there like a vulture looking for that puck, as that's how he scored so many of his goals this year and in the playoffs thus far. The draw coming off to Pokey Reddick's left.
18:39 to go, second period. The Knights again win the draw, but Rivers can't catch up to the puck. It's loose at center. Now Rivers fires it back in. Reddick leaves it behind the net for Kerry Lucyk. He wears number 12, an assistant captain, flips it over to the far side, and Dave Smith. Smith had a great first round against Cleveland. His pass deflects to the slot, a shot, and a goal! Jean-Marc Richard ties it at 1.
What a hard shot by Richard as he stepped into that one. He got a windup on that one as it was dropped back, and he just let that one go low glove side and beat J.C. Bergeron. As you'll see here on the replay, they come into the zone and it just left for Richard, and it looks like Bergeron might have been partially screened by Buchanan there as he backed up. It's a good play as they just drop the puck back, and he just steps into this one and finds the inside post, and we have a tight hockey game here.
Jean-Marc Richard's third goal of the playoffs, his 10th point. That leads all Fort Wayne scorers. Smith gets an assist. Also Lucyk. Time of the goal, 1:42, and we're tied at 1 here in the second period. Now the Knights bring it across the line, and Miller fires it off the far boards. Gretzky couldn't catch up with it. It's loose at center for Hurd. Hurd retreating in his own zone, feeds it here to the near side, and Gretzky ahead for LaPuma. He hits the red line, pushes it across the blue line, cleared by the Komets, now played by Ragland. He dumps it in. Behind the net, Reddick leaves it there for Bob Wilkie. Oh, his pass almost intercepted. Now loose at center for Chibriev. Knocked off his stick by Gretzky. Played here to the near side and then deflected right into the bench. We need to pause. We're about 2.5 minutes into the second period, and we're tied at 1 on the Atlanta Knights Network.
What kind of paint would you use inside your own house if price were no object? Well, it isn't anymore, because Sherwin-Williams is rolling back prices during their price rollback sale. Right now, you can pick up a gallon of Style Perfect Interior Flat Latex for just $8.99. And that's a great paint for a great price, folks. So you got a choice. You can spend less at Sherwin-Williams or settle for less somewhere else. Sherwin-Williams price rollback sale ends May 22nd. So, get rolling.
Tied at 1. We're back in Fort Wayne. The puck in the neutral zone for Sharon. He pushes it ahead, and it's taken by Ragland. Ragland, the Marine, bullies his way to the line, but it's swept free by the Komets. Here comes Richard for Chibriev. Back to Richard. Comes around for a wraparound and scores! Not Richard, it's Hurd. Not 17-27, but he beat Bergeron to the post, and it's 2-1 Komets.
Well, I'm surprised. I think there was a delayed penalty on the call because he didn't blow the whistle when Wilkie fallen down. Usually they'll blow the whistle when the team has the puck, but here they don't. And as you watch, he'll just come around the net. Bergeron doesn't get to the post. And Richard will stuff it in the inside. There you'll see it again. It's Hurd as it comes around the side. Yes, sorry, it was Hurd. He banks it off of Bergeron's skate. Here's your last look at it. Hurd taking a pass, going around the net, and Bergeron just doesn't get to the post quick enough. And Hurd takes advantage of that.
So Hurd scores the goal, his third of the playoffs. And up the draw, the Knights roll it to center. Chibriev gets an assist. And now the puck is played in the Atlanta zone. The Komets are all fired up, and they're all over the rink again. Now Lafreniere carries out of his own zone. While meanwhile, Berglund and Chin square off, headed up the rink. Now the puck played ahead by Savage as it's getting very physical. Here's Chin. He takes a pop from Lafreniere, but carries the puck to the red line. He steers it into the Atlanta zone, and an icing call coming up. There's the whistle and a face-off coming up into the Fort Wayne zone. And now you've got to contend with these fans as the Komets have scored twice in the early moments of the second period.
Well, not only the fans, but the Komets are all fired up. They scored 2 goals very quick there, and that's what they've done. They did that last game as they scored 2 goals in the third period to take the lead. And the Knights, like I said, cannot just carry a 1-goal lead in the playoffs.
Now we'll see if the Knights can come back, as they showed all season long. It was not unusual for the Knights to trail early in a game, and now they play the puck in front. Ooh, Stevenson had the centering pass taken away by Richard, and here's Boyce around LaPuma. LaPuma blasts him into the boards. The puck goes to the corner, pushed behind the net for Stevenson. Up the far side for Callender. Beyond him, kept in by Lucyk. He fires it wide. Now played here to the near side. Richard just missed the post. Lucyk keeps it alive behind the net. Hankinson takes a bump. The puck pushed here to the near side and played by Stevenson. Off a skate, trying to clear the zone. Davidson takes a pop from Stevenson. The puck sent back in by Richard. Now LaPuma in his own zone. The Komets change. LaPuma almost gave it up, but Callender has the puck. Across the line, Jock rolls into the corner where Chibrev has it. Now the Komets really flying. They've got the Jets on the skates right now. Here comes Chibriev. This Russian can really fly. Steered wide by Callender. Played loose to Hurd. Hurd across the line. To the far side, Chibriev in the circle on the backhand, looking to center. As the skates taken right out from under him, and the puck played by Atlanta. Here comes Gretzky. Gretzky across the line. Gretzky rolling it in front. Nobody home. Played by the Komets. Here's Wilkie. Wilkie up the rink, cuts to the center, leaves it for Willett, cutting in. Knocked off his stick on a good play by Rivers. He can't clear the zone. Wilkie throws it behind the net for Willett. Centering, loose, played by Miller. Now Miller. Across the line for Gretzky. A shot saved, the rebound behind the net for Raglan. Here to the corner. Raglan up the near boards. Pushed to the point and cleared by Fort Wayne. 5.5 minutes into the second period. 2-1 Komets. The Knights deflected in. Played by Jay. Jay, nearing the 14-minute mark left in the second period, fires it in. Behind the net, played by Buchanan. As Savage pops him one good. The puck loose to the far circle, and Gruhl. Gruhl behind the net, played by Chin. Chin off the far boards. Gruhl back to Chin. Far circle to the far point. Jay fanned on it. Here's an opportunity. Dragged down in the neutral zone. A penalty coming up on the Komets. The Knights on the power play when we come back. More hockey after this on the Atlanta Knights Network.
At McFrugal Auto Rental, we know there's a lot of car rental places ready to take you for a ride. From their friendly personnel and easy to understand rental contracts to their classic cars. That's why at McFrugal there's no hassles, no hype, and no clunkers. Just shiny new cars at low rates that will save you money. So when you need to rent a car, call McFrugal Auto Rental.
Back so soon?
Or you may take a ride you'll regret.
McFrugal Auto Rental, America's best neighborhood car rental company.
Mike Greenlay and Ken Double back at Fort Wayne, and the Knights are on the power play because of a penalty by Bob Jay.
Well, Jay actually took a good penalty here because he's stripped by Capuano, who would have been home free, but he hauls down Capuano and Capuano draws a penalty, giving the Knights a chance to tie this one up.
Now the draw won by Atlanta. Dubois has it at the near point, cranks up a shot, deflected. Stick save by Reddick, and the puck cleared by the Komets. Atlanta out of their own zone. Moving offensively to the right. Matt Hervé with a puck for Lafreniere to the red line, far side. Across the line, Dubois throws it behind the net. Lucyk there first, leaves it in the corner for Richard. He's got a little room and sends it all the way down. The Knights have been frustrated a lot on the power play by Fort Wayne. 0 for 1 in this game, 0 for 16 in the series. Now Callender pushes it behind the net. Reddick out, steers it here to the near corner. Callender's there first. Callender up the near boards. Fort Wayne very aggressive. Followed him right up the boards, cleared it all the way out, and now a penalty coming up on Atlanta.
Jock Callender, I think.
A cross check coming up.
Taking out a player for the Komets, and here he gets stripped of the puck, I believe, and he turns around, or he didn't, he just keeps going into Komet player. Not really a very physical cross check, he just knocked him over, but nevertheless he'll be sitting 2 minutes, and that nullifies the power play that Atlanta was on.
So the Knights, with that abbreviated power play now over, it lasted just 49 seconds. Now with the penalty to Callender, we're 4-on-4 in front of the goaltenders for the next minute 11, and then Fort Wayne will get an abbreviated power play, their fourth of the hockey game, leading 2-1. 13:01 left here, second period. Face off in the neutral zone. Davidson to take the draw with Capuano. And again, we're 4-on-4 in front of the goaltenders as Gretzky and Richardson tie up. Gretzky trying to get a little jump on the faceoff. Gretzky telling the linesman, come on, drop the puck. Gretzky still trying to inch forward a little bit. Now Kevin Mallon says, come on, guys, line up, let's go. He drops the puck, the draw won by the Knights. Rivers for Gretzky in his own zone. Cross ice for Rivers. He moves behind the net. Oh, he fed it ahead, taken away by Richardson, who cranks it up. Knocked wide by a sliding Rivers, who limps to the bench. Now the puck played by the Komets. They steer it ahead. Good catch by Davidson on a midair pass. Davidson trying to get around Sharon. They collide in the corner. Sharon steers it ahead, taken away by Hurd. Hurd flips it in front. Davidson pushed behind the net, keeps control of the puck, then bumped off the play. Capuano lost it. Oh, Buchanan all tied up with Davidson, and Zelkin lets it go. Now Sharon ahead to Gretzky. Gretzky across the line, rolled in front, and Reddick smothers it. 12:14 to go, second period. 2-1 Komets. 4-on-4 for another 24 seconds when we come back on the Atlanta Knights Network.
Boron, titanium, square grooves. If the mysteries of high-tech golf aren't clear to you, then come to Old Sport Golf. Old Sport staff of experienced players have a broad knowledge of the newest trends, as well as the classic clubs for the traditional player or collector. Old Sport also has a large selection of used equipment for the beginner on a budget. If you're a first-timer or an old-timer, there's something for you at Old Sport Golf, located at 4297 I-85 North Access Road, half-mile outside 285.
Mike Greenley and Ken Double back in Fort Wayne. Face off in the Komets zone. Battle for along the far boards and played by the Komets. Up, but finally out. Now Lucyk wrapped up at center, trying to push the puck into the zone. Banged into the boards, where Berglund has it. Out of the far side of Dubois. Bumped off the play by Hankinson. Ooh, Bergeron dangerously out. Rolling right through the goal mouth. But fortunately, no Komets in front. Here's Miller. Across the line for Berglund, and they'll rule Miller offside. And So we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. 11:45 left in the second period, and now the Komets are on that power play. 44 seconds with a power play, and Bergeron almost got caught.
Well, here you see the Komets almost opening it up as the puck rolls across an open crease, but there weren't any Komets in the vicinity. And Miller carries that one out nice and calmly. The Knights have to start getting something going pretty soon here as they're killing a penalty right now.
And the offense again needs to get cranked up, although the Komets continue to play very well, and certainly with 2 goals early in the period have a little momentum as they are now on the abbreviated power play. Richard fires it in. Behind Bergeron, it comes down to our left to the near corner. Play to the point, and Wilkie along the boards for Gruhl. Back to Wilkie near point. To the deep slot, Richard. A quick shot. Never got to the goaltender. Out of the far side, and Chin. Calling Chin to Richard. Back to Chin, far point. He waits, steps in, feeds it off the side of the cage, and Gruhl with Hurd down. Try to feed it to the point. Deflected off the night and out of the zone. A break for Atlanta. Now, as Richard comes across the line, Chin had not cleared the zone, and we'll have an offside and a face-off with 11:02 left to go, second period.
Well, it looks like the Knights will kill this penalty up, and now's the time where they have to crank it up. We're halfway through this hockey game, and they're down by a goal. A couple quick goals near the end of this period for the Knights would certainly be to their advantage and certainly give them momentum going into the third period, which is what they need.
Gene Ubriaco hollering instructions. Al Sims doing the same behind his bench as he sends Bob Jay out on, along with his defense mate, Grant Richardson. Colin Miller between Stevenson. With Stevenson and the defenders, Rivers and Buchanan, with 2 seconds left on the penalty to Jock Callender. Now the draw, battle for at the line, played by Willett, neutral zone, and he fires it into the Atlanta zone. Now Rivers right in front of his net, feeds it up the far side. Stevenson up the far boards with Callender. Stevenson fires it in. Reddick leaves it behind the net. He bangs it off the near glass. Play to the point. Buchanan fires. Stick save. Reddick. It goes to the far side, and Hurd. Hurd to the red line. Dumps it in. Bergeron out. Leaves it here to the near side, and that's Osborne. Out of the zone. Callender try to feed it back to Osborne. Take it away, and Willett dumps it in. Nearing the halfway point of the hockey game. 2-1 Komets. The Knights feed it ahead for Stevenson. His drop pass broken up by Hankinson. Played by Richard. Back to Hankinson to the blue line. Hankinson rolls it to the near corner. Sent to the far side. Played by Osborne in the corner. Ozzy trying to get around Chibriev. Feeds Callender. His pass is up but not out. A shot deflected wide here to the near side. Played by Berglund. Now Timmy Berglund feeds Callender. He deflects it into the zone, and the Knights change on the play, with Lafreniere coming out with Ruff to complete the line with Berglund. Now it's played to the neutral zone, steered ahead by Atlanta across the line, but the scrambling Komets, Joel Savage feeds Boyce across the line to the attack zone down to our left in the far corner, played by Sharon as he tees up a pop on Savage and steers the puck here to the near side where Timmy Berglund gets it going. Oh my, a penalty coming up. Dubois and Chin got all tied up. And a penalty coming up on Atlanta.
And this will allow the Komets to open it up if they can get a goal. Here you see it's pushed up actually by Chin himself. Dubois getting the stick across his chest, and Chin pushes the stick trying to get it off of him, ends up pushing it in his own face. But Zelkin thought otherwise, and Eric Dubois will sit in the penalty box for 2 minutes while the Komets go on the power play.
So Fort Wayne now with their 5th power play opportunity of the hockey game. At 10:38, Dubois sits 2 minutes for high sticking. Face-off now coming up down to our left in Fort Wayne's attack zone with Chin between Gruhl and Savage. Colin Miller to take the draw against Chin. The Knights win the draw, and Hervé just takes his time and finally pushes it all the way down. Nearing the 9-minute mark left, second period. Now Richard up the far side. Played across the line by Wilkie. Tried to feed it to Richard. It's loose along the far boards. Colin Miller trying to make a play. Wilkie throws it behind the net. Here to the near side, Hurd trying to come out of the zone with it. Kept alive by Savage. Behind the net, and Komets just whips it around and all the way down.
The Knights successful on 4 power plays thus far this game, and now trying to be successful on the 5th. Sorry, penalty kills, I'm sorry.
The Knights have scored 2 shorthanded goals in the playoffs, both against Indianapolis. Fort Wayne has not allowed any shorthanded goals as they steer it now to the far point in Richard. Far boards, and Chibriev. Back to Richard, deep slot, he fires, score!
And Richard, once again, from that position at the point, finds the twine as he fires one. I don't know whether it was deflected or not, but it went upstairs on the blocker side. If it was a straight shot, it was a heck of a shot.
It may have been deflected. We'll have to see.
Looks like it might have been, and it would unless it was a terrific shot. There you'll see it's fed back to the point. He'll just take a quick shot, and I believe it's deflected right away, or else it was just a good straight hard shot. But it doesn't matter because that puts them 1 for 5 on the power play, and it puts them 3-1 in the game.
Oh, a big goal there for the Fort Wayne Komets. It goes to Jean-Marc Richard, his 4th of the playoffs, 2nd of the game. Chibriev will get 1 assist. We'll double check on the other one. I think it goes to Gruhl. And now as it's pushed in, a penalty coming up. A penalty is coming up on Fort Wayne. We'll pause and have more from Fort Wayne after this. It's 3-1 Komets on the Atlanta Knights Network.
Technology, design aesthetics, craftsmanship. The product is excellence. It's the new Volvo 850 GLT. And now you can lease the 850 affordably from the Volvo dealer of excellence, Chris Volvo. For just $359 per month, you can enjoy quite possibly the finest automobile on the road at quite possibly the lowest lease payment you'll ever see. Lease the Volvo 850 GLT for $359 per month at Chris Volvo. Quite possibly the best automobile dealer in the world.
So the Knights trail 3-1, but they have a power play on a penalty called at the 11:49 mark on Smith. 2 minutes for a slash. So the Knights get their 3rd power play of the hockey game, and they have it set up in the attack zone. A wrist shot, a pad save, and Reddick clears it to the far corner. Kept alive by Miller. No, poked to the neutral zone by Richardson. Now across the line comes the Knights. It comes here to the near corner, and Gretzky out in front trying to push it ahead, but all the way down it goes as Colin Miller couldn't quite catch up with the puck. He bangs his stick against the boards in disgust as the Knights dump it in. This is going to be an icing call against Atlanta. Minute 17 left on a power play. The Komets in control right now, 3-1.
And boy, they got their fans going. Their fans jumping all over the place as they see their Komets up 3-1. Atlanta is going to have to fight back and use this power play to their advantage, hopefully bringing this game within 1 goal.
Big manpower advantage here. And the Knights, who during the regular season hit the power play at a little better than 20%, are struggling right now at about 15% or less, as they can't dent the armor of Pokey Reddick and these Fort Wayne Komets with the man advantage. Now here comes Lafreniere across the blue line. He fires it in, takes a big bump from Lucyk. The puck to the far side, played around the near side and all the way down.
Now, if you watch Pokey Reddick, when he gets a chance to, he'll come flying out, and he's very quick. And that's been frustrating the Knights as he comes out and cuts down that angle.
Now Callender plays it to the near side for Dubois. Hopped off his stick, played by Callender with 40 seconds left on the power play. Now the Knights pound it in as they play dump and chase, but Fort Wayne always there first. They are playing spectacular hockey, and I know for Knights fans it's frustrating. But the Komets at this point can do no wrong, and the Knights need to dent that confidence with a goal. Now Calendar right in front for Lafreniere. Steered wide and loose. Oh my, and now Calendar gets two-timed in front. Cooler heads prevail as the Komets almost made a mistake with the puck right there, Mike.
Well, I think one of the defensemen wanted to hand the puck back to Pokey so that he would freeze it. That's what he did, but Calendar almost got his stick in there and poked it in the open net. Here'll see Calendar will feed it towards the net, and then he'll break to the net. And as he fumbles the puck, Calendar was right there looking for a rebound. Almost a play to Lafreniere, and almost a mistake by Boyce, but Pokey Reddick jumps on that one, and the score remains 3-1.
Now before the face-off, the whistle blows. We'll do it all over again. Colin Miller out there now between Gretzky and Raglan. LaPuma and Hervé on the points. 17 seconds left on the manpower advantage for the Knights. Miller to take the draw with Colin Chin. Gretzky and Jay wrestling at the near side of the circle. The Knights win the draw. Good job by LaPuma to keep it alive. He's got some room. Stepping in, a wrist shot. Deflected in front. And where is it? Smothered by Reddick. And what a pile up in the Atlanta attack crease right now. Right at that Fort Wayne net, as sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Reddick ends up sitting on the puck.
Well, there's another case where the puck almost squeezed through, but Reddick somehow found it and sat on it.
We'll be back with more after this on the Atlanta Knights Network.
Raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. There's one thing I know.
The unique channeling system of General's new Hydro 2000 tire gives you better traction on wet roads.
'Cause I'm free.
So you can take a nice family trip, even on a rainy day. From our family to yours.
Mike Greenland can double back at Fort Wayne. The Knights have 9 seconds left on a power play, trailing 3-1. Miller to take a big face-off with Boyce. The Knights win it to LaPuma, near point. LaPuma moves between the circles and fires it off the board, trying to create an opportunity. But the puck loose for Jay. His clearing attempt kept in by Hurd. The penalty over. Here come the Komets, 2-on-1. Flying up the rink, Hankinson with Davidson across the line. Davidson on a backhand. Didn't get the shot away. It's loose and played by the Knights. Here comes Gretzky with one man back. Gretzky whips a shot wide of the near side. A stick on it did get Pokey Reddick. And now Fort Wayne clears that head onside. Hankinson. Hankinson moving in. Shot save. And finally Bergeron hangs on. Talk about end-to-end action. Unbelievable play. Both ends of the rink. And penalties coming up here. I think we're going to have a little 4-on-4 hockey as McDonald got into it maybe with LaPuma. Saves at both ends of the rink.
Well, here you'll watch a shot by Gretzky, and then he's held up, and they'll wrestle in the corner. Meanwhile, the puck will come down, and it'll go to number 15 of the Komets, Hankinson. He'll get a good shot, but Bergeron's there to stand tall and cover it up. Good end-to-end action here. As Gretzky will be the only one in the box, and the Komets are on for their 6th power play. They are 1 for 5 tonight, sorry. And they'll try and open this game up even more.
Gretzky 2 minutes for roughing. Time of the penalty, 14-14 here in the second period. Well, Fort Wayne with their 6th power play opportunity of the hockey game. In the first period, the Komets went 0 for 3. They're 1 for 2 so far here, leading 3-1. Now the draw to Richard, far point. He's got 2 goals. He's looking for the hat trick. Gruhl feeds Richard here to the near side, and Wilkie. Wilkie in the corner, tied up there by Sharon, who whips it around, throws a stick at the body. Oh, behind the net, what a pop by Dubois. And the puck inadvertently cleared. Now a chase for him. And it's played by the Komets and Wilkie, and now Atlanta changes penalty killers, and the Komets set up shop behind their own net. Nearing the 5-minute mark left in the period. 1:25 left on the power play. Flipped into the zone. The chase for the puck. Gruhl gets there first. Along the near boards. Played now to Calendar. Out of the zone. Hurd to the red line. Lets her go. Reddick got a glove on it. Knocked it down, and Richard plays it. That's one of those that the Knights fans are hoping to flex off the glove and trickles in. Now the puck played by LaPuma. He feeds it, behind Miller. That might have been an opportunity. A minute left on the power play. Richardson fires it in. Hits this broken stick behind the net for Gruhl. Gruhl throws it to the far side, and Richardson to the far corner. Popped over a stick. Gruhl behind the net. Plays it now to Dave Smith. Point. The pass from the point intercepted by Berglund and cleared to center. And now Bob Jay carries in. Jay behind the defensive backhander was saved. The rebound cleared by Atlanta all the way down. Nearing the 4-minute mark left in the second period. 20 seconds left on the Fort Wayne power play. They lead it 3-1. As they dump it all the way in, this will be an icing call. And we'll go ahead and break here. 16 seconds left on the Fort Wayne manpower advantage. 4:02 to go in the second. 3-1 Fort Wayne on the Atlanta Knights Network.
Don't miss 1,200 of the finest antique dealers from all over the United States. It's America's favorite show, the Scott Antique Market, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Shop in comfort at the new Atlanta Exposition Center. See the largest variety of investment quality antiques and old collectibles at the largest monthly indoor antique show in America. Learn about your family's heirlooms while adding to your family's treasures. We're open the second weekend of every month. Admission only $3, and it's good all weekend. Just follow I-285 to exit 40, only 5 minutes east of Hartsfield Airport. We'll see you at the Scott Antique Market.
Waiting for a face-off in the neutral zone. For the benefit of our radio audience, let's pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Atlanta Knights radio network. Meanwhile, for our viewers on WVEU, channel 69 in Atlanta, we've got 10 seconds left on the power play, and the Knights push it all the way down. 3:50 left to go in the second period. 3-1 Komets. Out of the penalty box, Gretzky intercepts the pass and gives it to Berglund. Berglund cutting in, moving behind the net, looking for the play. Berglund to the near corner, stripped of the puck. It's played by Lucyk. He takes a pop from Berglund, but clears all the way down. And we'll have another icing call here with 3:26 left to go in the second period. It's 3-1 Komets.
Oh, the Knights having to turn this one around as they've trailed by 2 goals. They don't want to go into the locker room necessarily. There's Gene Ubriaco not very happy right now as he trails 2 goals.
That's the twister.
And he can twist, I can tell you that.
Among the things that keeps the fans in Fort Wayne entertained. Some would say it doesn't take much.
Well, he's twisting. That's all I can say.
Face-off coming up in the Atlanta attack zone, won by Jay. He pushes it ahead, and Boyce clears the zone. Rivers fires it back in. Played by Grant Richardson behind the net. He steers it up the far side for Hankinson. Peter Hankinson. He shaved off his playoff beard. He flipped it into the zone. The Komets would have been offside. They clear, and Rivers carries ahead. Poked off his stick, and a good play by Boyce. Boyce to the near corner, looking to center. Boyce behind the net, bumped into the boards by Rivers on a good play. The puck loose, but Hankinson there first. Battled for it still behind the cage. Scooted ahead, steered in front, then taken down. Oh, the Knights carry to center, 2-on-2. Now here's Ruff across the line. Ruff to the near circle, snaps a shot, a save. The rebound, hacked at, clear to the corner on a good play by Jay. Up the near boards, Buchanan trying to keep it alive. It's kept in by Bucky, but his play deflected by Davidson into the neutral zone. Off a skate, played into the Fort Wayne zone by Jay. Now steered ahead at center by the Komets. Across the line, here comes Hurd. Hurd around a check, snaps a shot, just missed the near post. The Knights clear it ahead, a chase for the puck. Here's Ragland. Ragland tied up along the near boards, looking to center. Flips it in the corner for Gretzky. He stops, can't control the puck. It's played by Wilkie. His pass ahead, cleared to center, a chase for the puck. Knocked loose by the Knights. Played to Gretzky along the far boards. He's banged by Willett, but plays the puck. Loose at center for Smith. Now the puck all tied up. A stick tied up, and Miller plays it here for Ragland. Ragland waits, had it cleared off his stick, but the Knights keep it alive. Here's Colin Miller in the near circle. Miller dragged down, a penalty coming up. The puck loose behind the net, and the whistle blows. The Knights are going on a power play. A minute 40 left. It'll be man-powered advantage for the closing minutes of the second period when we come back. 3-1 Fort Wayne on the Atlanta Knights Network.
It was huge, and it had bats in it. Hundreds of them hanging from the walls. Oh.
You won't believe your eyes.
At night, the place is just crawling with swingers.
Whoa! Not just a sporting goods store, but a mega store.
It was incredible. A veritable cornucopia of color.
100,000 name brand items, guaranteed low prices. Sportstown, America's sports headquarters.
You'll be amazed.
And we're back at the Coliseum. The Knights are on the power play. Wilkie sits 2 minutes for hooking. And the Knights, trailing 3-1, have an opportunity for a late goal here if they can capitalize.
Here you'll see the penalty as Miller's dragged down as he drives to the net.
Now Dubois tees it up to the far side, hit the goal post. The slap shot by Hurd hit the goal post. Now Fort Wayne clears the zone. That constitutes an offside. And so we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone with 1:28 left here in the second period. And if the Knights don't score, this power play, their fourth of the hockey game, will continue into the second period, or third period rather. Lafreniere to take the draw against Davidson. Once again, Gretzky trying to get a jump on the play. Move too soon, and we'll do it again. Now Zelkin steps in, and he may call a delay of game here if the Knights don't line up properly. Zelkin, the referee, lecturing Gretzky. Gretzky has a word for Zelkin. The linesman, Andy McKelman, lines him up. And the Komets win the draw and send it all the way back down. Now 1:20 left in the second period. The Knights trailing 3-1 with a manpower advantage for the remaining moments of the period unless they score. Across the line, Callender pushes it into the corner. Callender for Lafreniere. Lafreniere looks in front for Dubois. It's off his stick and cleared by Davidson all the way down. That time the Knights had the numbers in front, couldn't connect on the pass. Exactly a minute to play in the period. Hervé up the far side for Dubois. Dubois got it lost in his skates, pushed it across the line, but they intercept, and here's Hankinson. Hankinson across the line, swept off his stick by Buchanan. Behind the net, here comes Callender. Bangs it off the boards. It's played by Dubois, ahead to Lafreniere. Across the line, Jason had it swept off his stick, and Fort Wayne clears the zone with 30 seconds left in the period. Now the Knights to Osborne. Across the line, Capuano. To the near corner, Cappy around a check, but it's behind the net and cleared all the way down. 15 seconds left. Bergeron tees it up for Rivers. 10 seconds left. Now Rivers up the far side and across the line comes Cappy to Berglund. He fires. Reddick hangs on as the horn sounds. That's the end of the second period of play, and it's 3-1 Komets. They score 3 unanswered goals in the second period, one of them on the power play, and the Komets will head to the third period with a 2-goal advantage, and we'll have more after this on the Atlanta Knights Network.
At La Quinta Inns, our most frequent guests are traveling salesmen. So we asked a few how they'd sell La Quinta.
You look like a person on the go, am I right? You're a VIP kind of guy, am I right? You don't have time for some fancy-smancy breakfast, am I right? At La Quinta, they've customized a free continental breakfast for busy guys like yourself. In fact, this blueberry muffin was baked with you in mind.
La Quinta, you're not staying at a hotel, you're staying with us.
Anytime, any place. Go fish. Anyone, any taste. Go fish. Any day, any night, any size, appetite. One place does it right. Go fish.
At Long John's, get what you want any way you want it. From combo platters to baked meals, from value packs to $1.99 specials.
You can get your wish anytime. Go fish. Long John Silver's.
Go for one of our 3 great $1.99 specials. And don't forget to add a piece.
Through all the years the care you take.
Come on, man. Get past me.
To see a family smile.
There are so many ways to love your family, and Kroger is always there to help.
Take me out to Wolf Camera, the photo experts in town. I need some film and some batteries, cameras and lots of accessories. Also known for service and value, low prices, selection, and more. So get to Wolf Camera right now. It's my favorite photography store.
Back in Fort Wayne at the Allen County Memorial Coliseum, the Fort Wayne Komets score 3 unanswered goals in the second period and lead in the hockey game by the count of 3-1. And we are back. Hello, everybody. This is Ken Double, and Mike Greenlay has stepped aside a little bit. You know this isn't Mike Greenlay. This is Richard Adler, the president of the Atlanta Knights. And Richard, we're behind the 8 ball.
How deep can the hole get?
You should have been here after the first intermission. We'd be more positive.
Yeah, it was a tough period. Once again, you know, we played the first period pretty well and came out like game 1 the second period. They just got 2 quick goals in the first 5 minutes. And we preach all year long that the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of each period are the keys. And we got those 2 goals right. Richard just got off a shot, went right by Bergy. Osborne missed the check at the blue line, and they got that first goal and got him rolling.
And it doesn't take much for these Fort Wayne Komets, who right now, and let's not necessarily get down too much on the Atlanta Knights. The Komets are in a zone. If you look up and down the roster and you talk about the Fort Wayne Komets and how good a hockey team they are, they're very good, scored 104 points. That's a lot of points in a regular season. But at this point, in my opinion, they're playing better than one would look at their roster. I think they're in a notch above right now. They're in a zone, and I think it all starts with Reddick and the confidence he gives that team.
No, they know that if someone gets behind them or the shot gets on, Pokey's going to stop the puck. They've got that kind of confidence, and their defense is very strong. They're big, they're tough, and they're very mobile. When you notice when they get inside the attacking zone, their 2 defensemen don't just play to keep the puck in. They're part of the attack, especially Jean-Marc Richard. He's a phenomenal hockey player. He was an all-star in the American Hockey League. He was with the San Diego Gulls. And I think he's one of the players that San Diego put onto Fort Wayne to load him up against us. And here we are.
Well, he's getting the job done in this game. As we digress now away from this particular game, we are certainly still hopeful that there will be more hockey in Atlanta this year. But if not, I know that the plans are already underway and organization already moving forward for next year, the 93-94 season.
We're getting season ticket letters out to our current season ticket holders and our 20-game planners, as well as the folks that bought the 6-packs and the hat tricks. Those will be going out in the mail on Monday. And hopefully they'll be renewing their seats and expanding their plans for whatever they had.
Yeah, and the folks that bought 2, you want to get 4 for next year. Bring your friends. You don't want to miss out on the excitement.
That's right. Ken's working at the punchline next week. But folks that are interested, you can call 525-5800, and our season ticket representatives will be more than happy to invite you down. Come take a look at the Omni, see where you want to sit for next season, because next season is expected to be tremendous in terms of talent that we have coming. You know, Tampa's got the 3rd pick in the draft. We know 2 kids for sure that are coming to join us. It's this kid, Mark Tardif, who's currently playing with Sherbrooke for the Memorial Cup in Canada. and puts Kid Tang, Martin Tanguay, a center whose team was eliminated, a high-scoring, fast-skating center that we know will be with us next year.
Certainly Tampa is concerned, the Tampa organization, about the expansion draft and who might be chosen. There's certainly an opportunity that a couple of these current Atlanta Knights favorites might be on the parent club next year, but at the same time there's a lot of depth in this organization in its first year, and I think Atlanta can look forward to a lot of talent back.
I think they really can. I think J.C. Bergeron will probably be Tampa's goalie of the future. Chris LaPuma, I'm sure, will be a big part of their plans. And speaking of Terry Crisp, he feels Crisp may still need to be here another year to mature. He said something very interesting. He said goaltenders are at their best when they're 26, 27 years of age. And he said defensemen, they really don't peak and get to their prime until they're 24 or 25. Said forwards come a lot quicker because it's a pure speed game. But there's a lot of experience that has to be gained when you're on the blue line and when you're a backstopper.
And that's one of the reasons Tampa took guys like Ramage and others that were later traded, but they wanted that veteran defense early on to help them early in the season, and one of the reasons they were successful early on. But lots of things to look forward to as far as next season is concerned. Hopefully we can look forward also to a stronger next 20 minutes as the Knights try and get back in this hockey game. If nothing else, they'll open with 20 seconds of power play hockey. Maybe that will pop one home.
Well, I think so. I don't think they're going to let down. This team hasn't let down all year. They're going to give it all they've got. They really want to get back and have a 6th game on Tuesday. And as Matt Hervey said to me, you got to win 4. So until you get there.
Indeed. We thank you for stopping by as usual, and we certainly hope that there's better news before this one is over. We'll maybe visit again on Friday because we're going to be here a couple of more days. Meanwhile, Mike Greenlay will rejoin us. We'll have highlights and more after we take this time out on the Atlanta Knights Network.
Is your family's security while traveling worth $1 a day? Constant Communications will provide your family a cellular telephone, including the equipment and airtime, for just $1 a day. As an authorized agent, we provide the highest quality service and products available in Atlanta. Give us a call at 642-4000, and remember, $1 a day for the security of your family. Call us, it makes good sense. Constant Communications, give us a call at 642-4000.
The Emory Clinic Sports Medicine Center is unique in its ability to train and treat competitive athletes and weekend warriors of all ages. Individualized programs are developed for all athletes, even swimmers, runners, and soccer players. The clinic has a radiologist on site and the only swim flumes in Georgia designed for training enhancement and treatment of injuries. The Emory Clinic Sports Medicine Center has a staff dedicated to sports training, injury prevention, and treatment, making it Georgia's total sports medicine facility. For an appointment or for more information, call the Emory Health Connection at 248-7744.
For the best values on Western wear, shop Boot Village, Atlanta's complete Western outfitters. Boot Village has a huge selection of hats, shirts, jeans, boots, and Western accessories at the lowest prices in Atlanta. Acme Ropers are sale price this week from $49.95. Save up to $80 on Acme snakeskin boots or Dan Post all-leather handcrafted Westerns, just $139.95 each. For the best prices on today's Western fashions, shop Boot Village, located near Gwinnett Place, South Lake, and Cumberland Malls.
Boron? Titanium? Square grooves? If the mysteries of high-tech golf aren't clear to you, then come to Old Sport Golf. Old Sport staff of experienced players have a broad knowledge of the newest trends, as well as the classic clubs for the traditional player or collector. Old Sport also has a large selection of used equipment for the beginner on a budget. If you're a first-timer or an old-timer, there's something for you at Old Sport Golf, located at 4297 I-85 North Access Road, half-mile outside 285.
In old-time arenas like the Fort Wayne Coliseum, during the intermissions you enjoy the organ music of Jack Lose, and we'll come back and have highlights, statistics, and more. It's 3-1 Komets after 2. This is the Atlanta Knights Network.
When was the last time you had an irresistible hot fudge sundae? Or a fantabulous banana split? Woohoo! How about an old-fashioned ice cream soda made just for you? Pick any of our 30 wonderful flavors, like mint chocolate chip matched with Rocky Road. There's light, sugar-free, fat-free. How do you think I stay so thin? There's even yogurt. And don't forget the nuts! Woohoo! So come on, get that 30 wonderful feeling.
the sounds, the sights of the music industry. You can be part of it in management, marketing, audio engineering, and video production. When you bring the Art Institute your enthusiasm, we match it with the skills the industry is looking for. You'll learn about the record business, producing and directing videos, promoting concerts, managing performers. Train at the Art Institute and be on your way in the music and video business. Call for our free booklet that shows you how. 1-800-647-3900. Call right now. 1-800-647-3900.
At La Quinta Inns, our most frequent guests are traveling salesmen. So we asked a few how they'd sell La Quinta.
So you're on the road a lot, put in some long hours? Hey, I know how tough that can be. We really do earn our money, don't we? Okay, now where to stay? Consider La Quinta? They treat you good and the price is right. You care about money, or do you just want to throw it away?
La Quinta. You're not staying at a hotel, you're staying with us.
In a recent independent survey of families who frequent hamburger chains, guess who was rated best for food quality? And who do you think was rated best for good service?
Thank you for choosing Rally.
And who rated best for good value? So why keep going to start stopping at Rally's?
The Komets have a 2-goal lead heading into the third period. Let's take a look at the statistical picture first, as there you see the score. Shots on goal in the second period, Atlanta 11, Fort Wayne 7. There you see the total numbers after 2. And then the power plays tell the story. The Knights still snake-bitten.
Well, the Knights 0 for 3. That's I think 0 for 16 or 17 on the whole series. And they can't get goals on the power play, and they can't get goals on the 5-on-5 either.
So they're still just a goal a game against the Komets. Now let's go to the highlights. In the second period, it was Jean-Marc Richard who got the scoring started early for the Komets. They trailed 1-0. And
well, here it's just a nice drop pass, and Bergeron's partially screened by Buchanan there, and it's a good low shot to the glove side. It goes off of Rivers' skate, and it's just a good hard shot. He really stepped into that one, and Bergeron had good positioning.
His third power play goal of the playoffs. He's their leading scorer. Now Kelly Hurd gave him a lead just seconds later.
Well, here's a great give and go around the net, and he just beats Bergeron to the post and makes a second goal for the Komets. Here you see the give and go. He takes it back, goes right around the net, and Bergeron a little bit slow getting to the other post. And it gets in off of his skate, and that makes the game 2-1.
Then at the 11:42 mark, Richard gets his second of the game.
I think it goes off the stick here on a deflection of a Knights defender. As it goes upstairs, you'll watch as Capuano comes out to the point, and it just might get up over Bergeron's blocker. Here you'll have a better view at it as Richard takes a shot. And it might have just ticked it, I'm not sure, but it was a great shot nevertheless as it went top corner, making it 3-1.
And that's where we stand. We'll have third period action when we come back on the Atlanta Knights Network.
Now, all over the world, the sisters and mothers and best friends waiting to hear from you can hear from you for a lot less. Introducing the AT&T Special Country Plan. Save 15%. It's easy. There's no monthly fee. Just call right now and tell us your one special international country and start saving to everyone in it every hour of every day. We'll always be there to make calling more affordable.
Technology, design aesthetics, craftsmanship. The product is excellence. It's the new Volvo 850 GLT. And now you can lease the 850 affordably from the Volvo dealer of excellence, Chris Volvo. For just $359 per month, you can enjoy quite possibly the finest automobile on the road at quite possibly the lowest lease payment you'll ever see. Lease the Volvo 850 GLT for $359 per month at Chris Volvo. Quite possibly the best automobile dealer in the world.
Hi, I'm Richard Dumas. At J&R Clothing, we'll save you at least 25 to 30% every day. Liz Claiborne and Leslie Fate dresses and sportswear. Docker slacks and shorts. Lee and Levi jeans, Sanzabelt slacks. Weinberg, Dexter, Nike, and Allen Edmonds shoes. Men's suits by Hager, Sewell, Sanzabelt, and Perry Ellis. All at savings of 25 to 30% every day. Alterations are always free. J&R Clothing, Georgia, Highway 85 in Riverdale and in North Fayette County.
Boron, titanium, square grooves. If the mysteries of high-tech golf aren't clear to you, then come to Old Sport Golf. Old Sport staff of experienced players have a broad knowledge of the newest trends, as well as the classic clubs for the traditional player or collector. Old Sport also has a large selection of used equipment for the beginner on a budget. If you're a first-timer or an old-timer, there's something for you at Old Sport Golf, located at 4297 I-85 North Access Road, half-mile outside 285.
Ken Double and Mike Greenlay back in Fort Wayne. There you see Bob Wilkie in the penalty box to serve his remaining 21 seconds on the hooking call. The Knights trailing 3-1 will have power play hockey to start the third period. Once again, we flip-flopped ends. The Knights moving offensively to the left. Fort Wayne to the right. The Knights win the draw, and Rivers in his own zone starts it up the far side. Brings it here to the near side for Ruff. Ruff into the corner, bumped there by Jay, who flips the puck behind the net, but Lafreniere there first far corner. Jason trying to push it up to the point, couldn't do it, and then the puck is played up but not out. Here's Hervé, here to the near side. Rivers around a check, flips a weak shot, kicked out by the goaltender Reddick. Now Lafreniere to the far side. Hervé, a wrist shot, knocked wide by the sliding Ian Boyce. Played up the far side. The Knights really scrambling at this point, keep it alive. Played up the boards and kept in by Hervé. Finally, it's under Boyce. We get a whistle, and the penalty is over. We're back to 5-on-5 in front of the goaltenders. Just underway in the third period. The Komets leading 3-1.
The Knights coming out real strong right away, right off the bat on that power play. Not enough time to really get anything going, but maybe the momentum off the power play will help them get going, as they really need to draw down 2 goals in the third period here.
Lafreniere between Berglund and Jason Ruff, the forward line for Atlanta. Fort Wayne now brings out Colin Chin, Gruhl, and Savage as the Knights win the draw and send it behind the net. Lucyk has it there. A long pass played by Chin off the near boards. Knocked down by Jason Ruff. Loose at center. Now Lafreniere trying to leave it at the line. Cleared ahead by the Komets and sent into the Atlanta zone, where LaPuma tracks it down. Steered over to the far side by Bergeron, up but not out. Here's Richard looking for the hat trick, fired it wide. Now play to the point of the Lucyk. His pass ahead, knocked wide by Osborne. Ozzy digging for it along the near boards. Now they're kicking it ahead, and finally Gruhl able to keep it alive in the zone, and finally pushed out of there by the Knights. Now Gruhl on the diagonal sends it to the far corner, and LaPuma behind his own net brings it here to the near side for Osborne. Osborne across the blue line, looks for the play. Ozzy to the far side and roll right in front, steered wide by a sliding defender, Bob Jay, as Dubois, the defenseman, gambling a little bit, almost had a play for the Knights. A minute 45 into the third period, 3-1 Fort Wayne. They have a 2-0 lead in the series, trying to sweep. Atlanta trying to answer the bell in the third period. Boyce intercepts, flying up the far side between the circles for Davidson. It goes to the near corner, clear to the far side, and here's Shane Stevenson. Stevenson flying up the far side, run into the boards by Hankinson. Taken down, the puck played by Wilkie. He lost it, turned around and got it back. Throws it behind the net, where Bergeron leaves it there for Eric Sharon. His long pass knocked down, played by Chibriev. Bergeron way out, bangs it around the near boards. Osborne lost it to Chibriev, right in front for Willett. His shot knocked down by a sliding Sharon on a good play. Now a collision, the puck behind the net, a wraparound right through the goal mouth, played by Osborne. Out of the zone he comes with Chibriev all over him. Ozzy had it stripped. Now it's played by the Komets. Out of the zone, you've got an injured Bob Wilkie as the stick got up. I don't think we have a penalty yet, but now we've got fisticuffs and pushing and shoving at center ice.
And I believe Wilkie was speared, but I'm not sure the extent of it. It could have been just a slash or something, but he went down and he's still down.
I never saw a penalty signal go up. I don't believe there will be any penalties, as now the training staff attends to Bob Wilkie. Will pause and have more from Fort Wayne after this on the Atlanta Knights Network. Back in Fort Wayne, they're still attending to Bob Wilkie, who's still down, now slowly getting up in front of his own net.
Here you'll see it. Osborne losing the puck from a back-chebbing Chibrev, and he just gives Wilkie a little poke, probably in a sensitive area, and he goes down in a heap, and he'll slowly skate off the ice, but there is no penalty call there.
A break for Atlanta on a spearing penalty that wasn't seen by Zelkin, the referee. While we have a moment, for the benefit of our radio audience, we'll pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Atlanta Knights radio network. On the television side, we'll tell you we've got 17-13 left to go. Third period. Fort Wayne leading 3-1. As we come across the line, offside is ruled against the Knights. And on the Estes game summary, Herb Ragland put the Knights up 1-0 about halfway through the first period. But then Richard, Hurd, and Richard again. And we've got ourselves a 3-1 score after 2 in favor of the Komets. Now the Knights win the draw at center, and Rivers sends it to the far side. Buchanan floats it on the diagonal here to the near corner down to our left. Lucyk moves it up the far side. Cross ice for Hurd, across the blue line, too far for Willett. The puck played by Ragland in the far corner down to our right. Around a check from Willett. He comes behind the net, bangs it off the near glass. Deflected by Gretzky, but this will be an icing call. Lucyk touches the puck with 16:39 to go. We'll pause once again. 3-1 Fort Wayne on the Atlanta Knights Network.
Adam Keefe, 6'10" Atlanta Hawks power forward versus Josh Mary, 3'10" fourth grader. Adam runs rings around his opponent. So does Josh. Adam's a master slam dunker.
Hey, that's not fair.
Adam drives the lane. Josh drives a great deal from McFrugal Auto Rental.
I rented from McFrugal Auto Rental and saved a bundle. Did you know McFrugal rents new cars at the best rates around?
Yep.
McFrugal Auto Rental, America's best neighborhood car rental company.
Who's next?
Back in Fort Wayne, the Knights send it to the neutral zone where it's played by Lucyk. He dumps it back in. Bergeron leaves it for Hervé, and now Fort Wayne will play the game of territorial position. It popped over Richard's stick, and his defense mate Kerry Lucyk plays it behind his own net. Takes a pop from Ruff. The puck here to the near side, deflected by the Komets all the way down. Played by Hervé, and we'll have an icing call. Fans don't like it. They thought maybe Hervé could have hustled to play that one before it crossed the line. Sometimes, if the referee, in his opinion, the linesman, sees it that way, he'll wave off the icing.
Well, if the Knights are going to get anything going, they have to put some added pressure in the Fort Wayne zone. Right now, they're just going back and forth with Fort Wayne, and it's not causing any real pressure on the Komet goal.
Shots on goal favor the Knights, 24-23, but the scoreboard favors the Komets, 3-1. Nearing the 16-minute mark left here in the period. The Knights win the draw. Hervé cranks it up, fired it just wide. Now LaPuma pinching in, couldn't play the funny Karam. Here come the Komets across the line. No, now Chin has to wait. Brings it in, throws it behind the net where Timmy Berglund sends it to LaPuma. Back off the backboard for Berglund. He pushes it ahead and kept in by Joel Savage on a good play. Berglund able to push it ahead, but now Chin fires it behind the net. It's amazing. Every touch of the puck, every little bounce of the puck seems to go Fort Wayne's way, and the Knights can't seem to get a break and be able to move even out of their zone with momentum. That's the way it goes sometimes. Now Bergeron bangs it around. Funny Karam loose in front. Cleared by the Knights, and now Capuano carries to center. To the blue line. Capuano leaves it for Lafreniere. Couldn't catch up with a puck. They might have had an opportunity with Reddick coming way out, but Lafreniere couldn't quite catch up with a puck. Now played by Berglund. His pass behind the net taken by Davidson. Lee Davidson feeds a long one too far for Boyce. A chase for the puck. Boyce missed it, and it's played by the Knights, and they'll rule icing. And once again, the fans upset. They thought maybe Boyce deflected that one just a little bit. J.C. Bergeron getting reset in his net. The face-off coming up. They're down at the other end of the rink. Gino Briaco sends out Calendar between Capuano and Osborne. On defense are Chiron and Dubois. Al Sims. The television audience sees what was thrown out on the rink. Will not say anything more to the radio audience about it. Enough said. Dave Smith out there between Hurd. And that looks like Gruhl. Indeed it is. The Knights win the draw. Dubois cranks it up. Deflected behind the net. It comes here to the near side. Now along the near boards, Wilkie sends it out of the zone. Pushes it ahead for Smith. He fires a long one. Bergeron sticks that one to the far side. Now in the corner in the Atlanta zone. A battle for the puck there. Dubois tied up with Gruhl. The puck comes free for Osborne. Ozzie to the red line, far side. Gruhl picked his pocket and throws it back into the zone. 14.5 minutes to go in the hockey game. Now Calendar flips it ahead for Osborne. Cleared by the Komets. Following up on the play. Chiron feeds it ahead. Knocked down again by the Komets. And now here they come. Across the line, Richard. He's got two. Left there and picked up by Boyce. He's bumped off the play. And Gretzky feeds Chiron. Up the near side comes Calendar. Calendar across the line. Calendar crisscrossing. Cranks it up. Pad save. The rebound cleared by Lucyk. Kept alive by Atlanta along the near boards. Digging for it. Trying to kick it on a centering play. It's cleared by the Komets. Boyce leaves it for Richard across the line. Richard stops at the near point and feeds it behind the net. 13.5 minutes to go in the hockey game, and the Knights clear it ahead and into the Fort Wayne zone. Atlanta completes a change on the play. And Buchanan from center ice pounds it in. Reddick leaves it for Richard. 3-1 Komets. Here they come to center. Igor Chibriev. He's got a couple of assists in this hockey game. He dumps it behind the net. Bergeron spins it around. Ruff battling Hurd. Ruff turns around but can't control the puck. Now in the corner, Willett for Hurd. He fires from a bad angle over the crossbar and out of the zone. Richardson fans on it once, but the Komets play it into the zone. Ooh, Willett, who can fly, almost caught up to another guy who can fly, and that's Rivers, who's got the puck. Rivers into the attack zone. Rivers around a check, throws it behind the net. Reddick out, steers it to the far side, where Berglund feeds Jason Ruff in the far corner. Tied up by Richardson. Berglund knocked down, lost the puck, and Fort Wayne sends it all the way down. We'll have an icing call. 12.5 minutes to go. 3-1 Komets, and we'll pause and have more after this on the Atlanta Knights Network.
Don't miss 1,200 of the finest antique dealers from all over the United States. It's America's favorite show, the Scott Antique Market, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Shop in comfort at the new Atlanta Exposition Center. See the largest variety of investment quality antiques and old collectibles at the largest monthly indoor antique show in America. Learn about your family's heirlooms while adding to your family's treasures. We're open the second weekend of every month. Admission only $3, and it's good all weekend. Just follow I-285 to exit 40, only 5 minutes east of Hartsfield Airport. We'll see you at the Scott Antique Market.
Well, Mrs. Twister got into the act. We got them both up there. Only thought crosses my. Never mind. What to do with how many season tickets they have to purchase over there. Now Fort Wayne clears the zone. Here's Hankinson across the line. Davidson pushes it into the corner. The Knights can't clear the zone. Boyce fires, knocked down by Calendar. But now it comes to Davidson. His shot deflected wide. Boyce along the far boards for Richard. He fires, kicked out in front, but Davidson turns, feeds, intercepted by Capuano. He clears it ahead up the near side. Cappy pushes it to the line, knocked down by Lucyk. Battled for and finally played by Capuano. He's onside, feeds it here for Calendar on his off wing. Calendar pushes it in front. Reddick way out, smothers the puck with Osborne. Pushed right over him. Now that's got to be a penalty on Jean-Marc Richard. Osborne was trying to keep his balance and not fall over him, and Richard pushed him right into the goaltender.
And he landed right on Pokey Reddick's head. And Pokey will feel that one, I think. Here we have Collender shooting it at the net and then trying to break through. Pokey Reddick grabbing it, and here you see Osborne trying to gain his balance, and he's pushed right on top of Reddick.
Then Callender takes a pop from Lucyk, and those two got into it. Callender's headed to the box. Now Reddick being attended to in front of the net. Lucyk also in the penalty box, so coincidental minors coming up as you see Pokey Reddick getting a little pat from the trainer, Joe Franke.
Here's another look at it. Good play by Callender to direct it at the net. Pokey out there to get it. And watch Richard just push Osborne right on top of Reddick. And a little melee ensues, but everything will be even up as both teams will get a penalty here.
Callender and Lucyk both sit 2 minutes for roughing at the 8:13 mark. There you see Jock Callender. Never at a loss for words. He should be that good on mic when we interview him. He's really quite soft-spoken, but on the rink he is unbelievable. He talks to everybody, all the opposition players, all the referees and linesmen, the opposition coaches, the goaltenders, the fans. He talks to he's unbelievable on the rink.
He speaks his mind, and sometimes that's necessary.
He is one of those players that is always at the top of the hate list for the opposition fans. He is never liked in any of the other buildings. Right off the draw, Smith breaking in, but the Knights able to clear the puck on a good play by Rivers. Now Buchanan, his pass deflected wide. Loose in the neutral zone, but then kicked back in by the Komets. Here's Hurd. Couldn't get around Rivers. The puck goes into the corner. Hurd and Buchanan tie up. It's loose for Smith behind the net. Smith leaves it behind the cage where Buchanan intercepts and starts up the rink for the Knights. Now here's an onside pass for Osborne cutting in. Osborne all alone. Pushes it. A save. The rebound. Cleared and a penalty coming up. Jay is going to the box and the Knights are going on a power play. We'll have the call and the power play for the Knights after this on the Atlanta Knights Network. It's 3-1 Komets.
Is your family's security while traveling worth $1 a day? Constant Communications will provide your family a cellular telephone, including the equipment and airtime, for just $1 a day. As an authorized agent, we provide the highest quality service and products available in Atlanta. Give us a call at 642-4000. And remember, $1 a day for the security of your family. Call us. It makes good sense. Constant Communications. Give us a call at 642-4000.
Bob Jay sits 2 minutes for hooking at 8:45 as Osborne got another Atlanta near miss.
Well, he really puts on the Jets here as he walks around Jay, and Pokey Reddick coming up big again, kicking the puck out, and Richardson there to clear the rebound.
More importantly, the defense for Fort Wayne right there again.
There you see
Osborne on the doorstep.
Here you see Osborne breaking around, and Pokey Reddick just lays down and covers that lower half of the net.
So now it's 4-on-3. A lot of room on the rink. The manpower advantage for the Knights. There you see the power play numbers. Atlanta 0 for 4. Fort Wayne 1 for 6. A one-timer broken stick. Firing it from the point, Capuano got all ice, no puck, and broke his stick. He gets a new piece of lumber. The puck tied up in the far corner. A quick whistle and a face-off coming up in the Fort Wayne zone. A minute 9 left on the double minors to Callender and Lucyk. A minute 40 left on the Atlanta power play on the penalty to Jay.
You know that old saying, if anything can go wrong, it will, and it seems to be going for that. Going for the Atlanta Knights that way tonight. There, Capuano having a great opportunity to one-time the puck, and he breaks the stick, and the puck harmlessly goes into the corner, and the Komets able to freeze it.
Plenty of time left in this hockey game. If the Knights can capitalize on a power play, they are unofficially now 0 for 19 in this series. A minute left on the first penalties. A minute 30 left on the power play. It's behind the Fort Wayne net, cranked up by Richardson, kept in by Hervey on a good play. Hervey at the far point, fakes the shot, gives it to Capuano near side at the circle. Back to Hervey between the circles, back to Capuano. Capuano back to the line and Hervey. He comes here to the near side. Now Hervé waits, floats it off the side of the cage for Lafreniere. Back to Hervé, stepping in, fires high over the crossbar. Behind the net, the Knights keep it alive in the corner. Now played along the boards by Atlanta, and now Hervé at the near point. Hervé waiting, fakes the shot, gives it to Capuano, top of the far circle. Campy off the side of the cage, and Gretzky right in front, deflected off Richard. Still loose in front, Richard finally covers up. Lafreniere very upset, talking to his teammates about moving the puck, and Pokey Reddick once again able to smother the puck. The Knights now 48 seconds left on the power play.
The Knights move it back and forth real well. Then they go down low. Gretzky tried to feed it in front and deflects off of Richard, who just sits on it. And I think what Lafreniere was complaining about was that Richard seemingly covered it up with his hand, but it didn't. It got poked right through to Pokey Reddick, and he covered it up.
Now Gino Briaco sends out Colin Miller with Keith Osborne. Dubois and Rivers on the points on this 4-on-3 manpower advantage, which will last for 16 seconds. Then it will be 5-on-4 for the remaining 32 seconds. We're halfway through the third period. Fort Wayne leading 3-1. The Knights win the draw. Rivers to Dubois, back to Rivers, far point. Moving to the circle, waiting, fakes the shot, gives Dubois near side now, and Miller back to Dubois, back to Rivers. The Knights moving the puck well. Rivers waiting, here's Dubois now near circle, looking for the play. The first penalties are over. The shot fired, saved, the rebound loose and cleared.
And another great save by Pokey Reddick as he saw that puck come through the crowd.
Now Rivers to the far side, and Callender. The Knights 5-on-4 in front of the goaltenders. Miller across the line near side, stops at the near boards, leaves it at the point and out of the zone. Rivers did not keep it in, and it's an offside call with 9:27 left to go in the hockey game, and 12 seconds left on the power play with a faceoff coming up in the neutral zone.
Well, the Knights still not able to solve that riddle called Pokey Reddick, and here's another hard shot by Rivers, and Reddick getting a good skate on that one.
And that time he wasn't 18 feet out.
He was standing on his goal line almost, and it was still an excellent save. Gino Briaco trying to get his team going. Rivers and him discussing the play, and unfortunately for the Knights, they have not been able to connect on one yet.
Larry Ness, the head trainer with the headset on, he's in communication with Joe Bocchino and Kurt Bennett, the assistant coaches, up in the press box. Now the Knights fire it in. Komets clear to the point. LaPuma keeps it alive. He ties up there with Davidson while Lucyk dumps it all the way down, and the penalty is over. Once again, it's now 0 for 20 in the series for the Knights on the power play. The telltale factor of them all, Atlanta's inability to score. And now behind the defense, here's Berglund. Timmy all alone, near circle, shoots. Save the rebound on the near side. Played by Lafreniere around a check from Lucyk. Behind the net, Jason centers off the side of the cage. It goes to the far side. Lafreniere has it there. Jason, now we've got the net off the moorings in a scramble in front. The whistle blows, and we'll not have an infraction. Instead, we'll have a face-off. With 8:51 left to go in the hockey game, 3-1 Komets. I did not see any kind of a collision or anything that caused the net to jump off. I'm unaware of a delay of game, but now we have the linesman consulting with Zelkin, the referee. No penalty. Instead, a face-off will come just inside the Fort Wayne blue line, down to our left on the near side, as the fans here are enjoying their hometown favorites. And we saw, as you said, a few brooms arrive here at the rink tonight. My guess is we're going to see a boatload of them on Friday should Fort Wayne hang on to this lead. But again, still plenty of time left in the hockey game. Just under 9 minutes. Now the face-off won by the Komets and Bob Jay. Jay bangs it off the far board. I'll tell you what's interesting about this one. As series go and games go, I don't think the Komets have made a mistake or allowed any kind of a whoops or had anything go wrong the whole series.
They have certainly been consistently good. And when they did make a mistake, Pokey Reddick would make the save, and it would just make the problem go away.
Now you've got Capuano and Savage all tied up at center ice. The puck banged into the Atlanta zone. Rivers tied up by Gruhl sends the puck ahead. Now there's some room for Lafreniere to the red line. Lafreniere to the blue line. Jason brings it here to the near corner. Around a check from Willett. Takes a big bump from Jay. Gruhl spins it around the boards and over the stick of Buchanan to the neutral zone where Rivers has it. Now Rivers bangs it off the near board. The Knights clear the zone. Rivers took a pop and a penalty coming up on the Komets. Now this might be an opportunity as Fort Wayne takes a silly penalty, and we'll have more after this on the Atlanta Knights Network.
Through all the years the care you take.
Come on, man. Get past me.
To see your family smile.
There are so many ways to love your family, and Kroger is always there to help.
The Fort Wayne Komets go short-handed as Sean Rivers is being attended to. He got hacked but good. A slashing call goes against Scott Gruhl. Oh, right behind the play. He just let him have it and called for just a 2-minute penalty, and Atlanta was all over Zelkin wanting a 4-minute power play on that one.
And if anyone who's played hockey before and worn forward's equipment or defenseman's equipment, they'll know that there's no padding in the back of the leg. And that's a sensitive area as Scott Gruhl slashed him there. And Sean Rivers went down in pain.
There's Rivers. You can see the look of pain on his face. He's on his feet being attended to as the Knights win the draw on the power play. Hervey drops one here to the point, and Osborne waits, feeds it right in front, shot to goal! He fed it right in front, and Jason Ruff deflected it behind Reddick, and the Knights come close. It took them 6 seconds on the power play to make it a 3-2 hockey game.
What a pretty goal, and it all started with a great play by Hervey. Hervey making the play to Osborne, who walked in and fed Jason Ruff in front of the net, who just tipped it behind a fallen Booker. And watch Hervey make a nice back pass there, taking a forward with him, giving Osborne time, and Osborne just feeds Jason Ruff in front, who deflects it. And Pokey Reddick's legs weren't long enough that time. That's a great goal scored on the power play, and that gives them 1 for 7, I believe.
Jason Ruff scores his first first goal of the playoffs, and the Knights now trail it just 3-2. Now Lucyk out of his own zone for Willett. Willett brings a 3-on-2 to Hurd across the line. He blasts one wide. Just getting a skate on it was Bergeron. Now the Knights carry to center with a little life to the skate. Across the line, they push it ahead for LaPuma. Right in front, it comes here now to the near side, and Gretzky eludes a check and pushes it behind the net. A battle for the puck in the corner. Colin Miller looking for the play. Moves between the circles, dragged down by Willett. No call, and the Komets come to center with Smith. Now Smith across the line for Hurd. He lets it fly again over the crossbar and off the glass and all the way out of the zone. Jay off the far boards for Smith. He bangs it back in, and Bergeron leaves it there for the Knights as Fort Wayne changes on the play. The Knights deflect it to center, and the Komets come around to Savage behind the defense, walking in, shot save the rebound, clear to the side by Dubois. All of a sudden, wide open hockey, and here's Capuano to the red line. He dumps it in. Gruhl takes him down. No call. The puck up the near side and to the neutral zone where Dubois has it. 6.5 minutes to go. So now the puck played by Dubois. Ahead for Osborne. He deflects it on net. Comes here to the near side, and Ozzy's there first. Now Osborne for Capuano. Back to Ozzy in the corner. Now Callender. Callender rolls it right in front. Pops straight up in the air and gloved by Reddick. The whistle blows. Pushing and shoving. A lot of pushing and shoving. Cooler heads prevail. No penalties here, and we'll pause. Have more hockey. It's 3-2 Komets on the Atlanta Knights Network.
Boron, Titanium? Square grooves? If the mysteries of high-tech golf aren't clear to you, then come to Old Sport Golf. Old Sport staff of experienced players have a broad knowledge of the newest trends, as well as the classic clubs for the traditional player or collector. Old Sport also has a large selection of used equipment for the beginner on a budget. If you're a first-timer or an old-timer, there's something for you at Old Sport Golf, located at 4297 I-85 North Access Road, half-mile outside 285.
Correct myself, Jason Ruff's second goal of the playoffs at the 12-10 mark has made it a 3-2 count in favor of Fort Wayne. A power play goal, and now it's a one-goal hockey game with 6:12 left to go. A lot of pushing and shoving as the Knights came close on this one.
Well, the puck deflects up in the air, and Pokey Reddick grabs it, and everyone swats at it. And then everyone starts pushing in front of the net as Pokey Reddick gives Capuano a shot there. But nothing comes of it. Or sorry, we have coincidental minors on that as Sharon and Gruhl take 2 each.
So Sharon and Gruhl sit in the penalty box. And now the Knights have the puck behind the net. Lafreniere steers from a check by Lucyk. Moves to the far side, looking for the play. Lafreniere on the backhand. Slides it off a glove. It almost went in. Reddick way out. Takes a pop and a penalty coming up on Atlanta. He was playing the puck, but he's not fair game.
And he wasn't going to call a penalty until Pokey Reddick fell down. And he's going to, I don't know what he's going to get for that. He might be gone for that. Here's a replay on it. The puck goes behind the net as Lafreniere chases his own rebound there. Pokey Reddick playing the puck, and then he's nailed by, I'm not sure who that was. I'm sorry. But Pokey Reddick takes one up high and goes down behind the net. I'm not sure who the culprit is. It looks like it's Lafreniere, but I don't think Lafreniere could have done it as he was in the corner, so I'm not sure.
He was skating away from.
He was in the corner.
I think it was Ragland.
It looked like Ragland, but he's not on the ice right now. He might have sent him off the ice. I'm not sure what they did.
Lafreniere has been thrown out of the hockey game, and this may end up being a 5-minute major penalty. Callender is talking to Zelkin. And the referee Zelkin is now reporting to the penalty box.
Here's another shot at the replay, and I think it is Ragland who comes in. The puck misses the net, hits the glove. Pokey Reddick goes to play it, and there's Lafreniere in the bottom of your screen. He falls down, and watch a Knight player come in from the other side. And I think that is Ragland, and he gives Pokey Reddick a shot. And
it was Lafreniere who went back through following the play, and that's why he got caught.
And they're going to throw Lafreniere out of the game, I think.
Lafreniere all over the linesman Mallon pleading his case. Gene Ubriaco wants a chance to explain that, hey, Lafreniere wasn't the guy that hit him. Now Zelkin will come over to the Atlanta bench, and he'll talk to Gene Ubriaco. Meanwhile, Pokey Reddick just now getting up. Of course, when Ragland the Marine hits you, you're going to know you've been hit. And in spite of all that padding and all that protection, the goaltenders generally are not involved in that kind of activity, and Reddick is still slow to get up.
He's not up yet. He's actually holding his shoulder like and it doesn't look like he might even leave the game. He doesn't look like he's getting up, but the way he's holding his shoulder.
Meanwhile, Zelkin and Ubriaco still talking at the Atlanta bench, and we'll go ahead and pause. We've got 5:46 to go in this hockey game. It's 3-2 Fort Wayne. Power play hockey for the Komets coming up when we come back on the Atlanta Knights Network.
The Emory Clinic Sports Medicine Center is unique in its ability to train and treat competitive athletes and weekend warriors of all ages. Individualized programs are developed for all athletes, even swimmers, runners, and soccer players. The clinic has a radiologist on site and the only swim flumes in Georgia designed for training enhancement and treatment of injuries. The Emory Clinic Sports Medicine Center has a staff dedicated to sports training, injury prevention, and treatment, making it Georgia's total sports medicine facility. For an appointment or for more information, call the Emory Health Connection at 248-7744.
We're back in Fort Wayne, and Pokey Reddick is headed to the locker room. We haven't seen Gagnon step out yet, the backup goaltender, Dave Gagnon, who has not played 1 minute in the playoffs.
I think he went into the dressing room to get his
Indeed,
gloves,
here he comes out with his equipment. So Reddick has to sit, and Gagnon comes out. Dave Gagnon, 6 foot, 185 pounds. Had a 13-10-2 record during the regular season, a 3.96 goals against average. And during that great stretch run at the end that the Komets enjoyed, where they went 15-2-1 over the last 18 games of the regular season, Gagnon started 4 of those games and played well. A free agent signed by Detroit back in June of 1990. There you see Gagnon's record against the Atlanta Knights. Last year split the year between Fort Wayne here, playing just 9 games, and spent most of last year with Toledo in the East Coast Hockey League out of Colgate. Played university hockey, not juniors in Canada. Born in Windsor, Ontario, right across the river from Detroit. 25 years old, and now I'll tell you what, he's got some huge skates to fill because Reddick has been unbelievable.
Well, although the Knights have this 2-minute power play or 2-minute penalty kill, it'll be important for them to jump all over Gagnon as soon as possible because he's cold.
So Lafreniere gets the 2-minute roughing and a 10-minute game misconduct. That comes at the 14-19 mark here in the third period. And it's the 7th power play for Fort Wayne. They're 1 for 6 so far. And they've got an opportunity now to get a 2-goal lead back. Here you see the scoring. Atlanta went up top 1-0 on Ragland's goal. Then Richard, Hurd, and Richard again scored 3 in a row in the second period to give Fort Wayne a 3-1 lead. Then Ruff made it 3-2 on the power play. And now the puck up on the mesh behind the Atlanta net. Actually on the Atlanta net, and we'll have a face-off. 5.5 minutes to go in this hockey game. A 1-goal game now. And we've got 1:16 left on the coincidental minors to Gruhl and to Sharon. But Lafreniere still has 1:43 to serve, so that's how long the power play is for Fort Wayne. But a lot of room on the rink. 4-on-3 in front of the goaltenders in favor of the Komets. Here's Bob Wilkie across the K, right dead center of the rink. He stops on the near side, throws it behind the net. Hervé and Chin collide. Chin gets the puck. Up the far side of Richard at the point, looking for the hat trick, fakes the shot. Gives it to Wilkie, near circle, moving in. Right off the side, trying to feed Chin, deflected into the corner. Taken away by Rivers on a good play. He pushes it ahead to Callender, and he floats it all the way down. Once again, the Komets like to try and feed that guy streaking in on the far side.
And they almost had Chin on the back door there.
Now Richard leaves it for Wilkie. Chin near circle. Cross ice it goes. Richard had popped on his stick a little bit. Couldn't get a quick shot away. A minute left on the Fort Wayne power play. Here's Wilkie, top of the near circle, side of the cage. It popped over Chin's stick. Straight for Atlanta, and LaPuma takes the puck away. Bats it off the boards, clears from a check, and then sends it ahead, but not out. Richard throws it in front, knocked down by Rivers. He dodges a check and brings a 2-man rush to center. Now he kills a little time in his own zone. 35 seconds left on the power play, and Rivers floats it all the way into the Fort Wayne end of the rink. Nearing the 4-minute mark left in the hockey game, a 1-goal Komet lead. Here comes Richardson. The penalties now to Sharon and Gruhl are over. Smith throws it behind the Atlanta net for Willett. He gets a bump there, and the puck played by Dubois up but not out. Gruhl feeds Bob J. Back to Gruhl, far circle. Cranks it up, shot saved, rebound, loose here to the near side and clear to the corner. Great play by the Knights defense. Now the puck to Richardson near point. A wrist shot deflected wide of the far corner. Battle for the puck there. Played ahead by Atlanta, but not out. Right in front. A shot. Save! And Bergeron hangs on with Smith and Lapuma dueling with their sticks up. Now battle off the side of the Atlanta net.
And if the ref saw that, Lapuma was spared. I don't know if the ref saw it. I doubt it, but they're trying to break it up. But what happened on that play is the puck came right off of the Knights defenseman's sticks. I think it was Dubois. Went right onto the stick of Gruhl, I believe. I'm not positive about that. And he took a hard shot. Bergeron covered up. And then the little scrum in front ensued. And it looks like Smith took the bad end of that one again, as he's 0 for 2 on fights for the Knights so far this series. Here the puck comes right out in front to Smith, and then he cross-checks Lapuma, and then they speared each other, and then, well, you could see what happened then.
A lot of pushing and shoving, and now we've got penalties coming up. The net is off the moorings, and we're going to have a pause, and we'll pause right here. 3:41 left in this hockey game, and we'll bring the final 3:41 to you. 3-2 Komets on the Atlanta Knights Network.
Now, all over the world, the sisters and mothers and best friends waiting to hear from you can hear from you for a lot less. Introducing the AT&T Special Country Plan. Save 15%. It's easy. There's no monthly fee. Just call right now and tell us your one special international country and start saving to everyone in it every hour of every day. We'll always be there to make calling more affordable.
This is Glamour Shots, high-fashion photography. Their expert stylists pamper you with a complimentary makeover. Then they help you choose 4 incredible outfits to create your glamorous new look. You'll star in 15 poses with a professional photographer. You'll feel like a model. Choose from color video proofs, and you can get your portraits back in about a week.
Save 50% on your makeover photo session this week at Glamour Shots. It's more than just photography.
Don't miss 1,200 of the finest antique dealers from all over the United States. It's America's favorite show, the Scott Antique Market, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Shop in comfort at the new Atlanta Exposition Center. See the largest variety of investment quality antiques and old collectibles at the largest monthly indoor antique show in America. Learn about your family's heirlooms while adding to your family's treasures. We're open the second weekend of every month. Admission only